Brought to you by Penguin.
How to be Parisian Wherever You Are by Berest, Audrey Diwan, Caroline de Maigret, and Sophie Mas. Read for you by Carrington MacDuffie. A story should have a beginning, a middle, and an end, but not necessarily in that order. Jean-Luc Godard. Introduction. The truth is out. Parisiennes aren't privy to a secret skinny gene. They aren't always easy to be with, and aren't all perfect mothers. In fact, they are very imperfect, vague, unreliable, and full of paradoxes. But they can also be funny, attentive, curious, and ironic, and they know how to enjoy life. We are 4 Parisian women who have been friends for ages. We are very different in many ways, but always agree about the important things. We've spent countless long nights laughing with each other and sharing that typically French enthusiasm for transforming life into fiction. As you'll discover, Parisian women spend an inordinate amount of energy trying to spin every episode of their existence into a very good story. Our aim here is to give you an insight into the quintessentially Parisian art of being a woman. We're methodical and yet shambolic, proud and yet self-deprecating, loyal and yet unfaithful. We'll point out our attitude, nonchalance, our low-key style, what we are like in love, and how we choose to spend our days and nights. We hope that the following pages will dispel the mystery. 1. Get the basics. Aphorisms, to be read out loud every night before going to bed, even when inebriated. Don't be afraid of aging. As the saying goes, don't be afraid of anything but fear itself. Find your perfume before you turn 30. Wear it for the next 30 years. No one should ever see your gums when you talk or laugh. If you own only one sweater, make sure it's cashmere. Wear a black bra under your white blouse, like 2 notes on a sheet of music. One must live with the opposite sex, not against them, except when making love. Be unfaithful, cheat on your perfume, but only on cold days. Go to the theater, to museums, and to concerts as often as possible. It gives you a healthy glow. Be aware of your qualities and your faults. Cultivate them in private, but don't obsess. Make it look easy. Everything you do should seem effortless and graceful. Not too much makeup, too many colors, too many accessories. Take a deep breath and keep it simple. Your look should always have one thing left undone. The devil is in the details. Be your own knight in shining armor. Cut your own hair or ask your sister to do it for you. Of course you know celebrity hairdressers, but only as friends. Always be fuckable. When standing in line at the bakery on a Sunday morning, buying champagne in the middle of the night, or even picking the kids up from school. You never know. Either go all gray or no gray hair. Salt and pepper is for the table. Fashion rules the world, and Parisians rule fashion. Fine, it may not be true, but the world still needs fairy tales. The Parisienne as seen by a Parisian man. Who could I ask for the perfect definition of the Parisienne? I'd asked myself that question countless times until I had an epiphany. Of course, ask him, that guy in the kitchen who happens to share my life. He was surprised by my question and muttered a few words to himself. I watched him, exasperated. Doesn't he have anything original to say? Something beyond the usual clichés about our incredible style and iconic perfume? Wait, you're being serious? We're really talking about this? He asked before leaning against the sink. And then he started and didn't stop, as though reciting a prayer learned by heart, one he knew with his eyes closed. First off, he says, the Parisienne is never satisfied. Here's proof. I'm telling you how gorgeous you are, and it's never enough. The Parisienne thinks she's a role model. She can fill blog...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?